Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Fred here, and it has been some time since I've uploaded a video. I've been going through a whole bunch of stuff in my personal life and with my cars, and just it's been a crazy few months. So a lot of stuff has changed on my end, and I'm working through some things, and some stuff in my work situation is changing and so forth. So anyway, just want to catch y'all up on what I'm up to at the moment. My cat's down here driving me crazy. Wherever you at. Well, anyway, so working on the 300ZX. This video is going to be out about what's going on the 300ZX. There's also a bunch of stuff going on with the MR2 right here, which we can talk about, or it might be in its own video, and it might have something to do with that guy right there. And then the 240SX is back there, and it is still alive and well. And you can see there is something to talk about right there on that guy. But on this video here, I just want to talk about the 300ZX and what's going on with that project. Let me flip the camera around here so I can talk and film a little bit better. Hey buddy, how are you? Okay, so this is our 1991 300ZX twin turbo automatic. This is my wife's car. We've had this for like, I don't know, 6 or 8 years or so. Probably 6, 7, 8 years, and it's a super nice 300ZX in very good condition. I put those wheels on it, and I put TN coilovers on it, and boost controller, and I built a full exhaust system for it. Other than that, it's all stock. But this car has always had a bunch of oil leaks. It would just leak out on the ground underneath the car. You know how they do. And so my plan was always to yank the whole drivetrain out and reseal everything, and just get it all at once over and clean everything. But I didn't have to do that for the last several years because the car ran fine, and I just put up with oil leaks and didn't worry about it. Well, flash forward to about a month ago, the car developed a really loud exhaust leak, and so I put it up on the lift here and started to look around and found out that one of the studs on the turbo, which is buried down in there, one of the studs that holds the downpipe to the turbo had just broken, and I could not extract the stud from the turbo because it's too tight. And I tried to weld a nut to it, and that just busted off, and then there was even less to work with, and it's so tight on that turbo you can't get a drill on it, you can barely weld on it, and it's just an absolute nightmare to try to extract a stud from a turbo on these cars. So the next option is to pull the turbo and do it on the bench, which would be great if you could actually get the turbo off, which you can't. Although some people say you can, realistically it's just not going to happen. So the thing to do is pull the engine to get the turbos out. So now you're looking at pulling the engine to fix a stud on a turbo, which is a disaster scenario and really sucks, but that's what you end up doing. And then transmission has got to basically come out to do all this. So either you pull the trans first or you pull them both together, which I'm trying to do. This car has a real bad rear main seal leak anyway, so the time is now to just yank everything out and reseal everything and fix the turbo stud. And now that I'm down to this far, I can see that the turbos have been leaking oil like crazy. I'll see if I can show you how much oil is coked up around that turbo down there. I don't know if you can see all that oil, but these suckers have been leaking for years, I guess. So both turbos, also the car smokes a little bit and has for a couple years, so I think the bearings in the turbos are just shot, obviously. So the whole project is snowballed into yank everything out and reseal everything, which was always the plan. Now fix the studs, now rebuild the turbos. Now let's do a 120,000 mile timing belt kit because it needs that. And whatever else we get into, I really do not know yet. I can tell you I hate this Heika system and this rat's nest of hoses, and I would like to just get rid of that. I would love to get rid of the battery and mount it somewhere else. I don't know if I will or not, but I'd love to. A lot of guys will remount this somewhere. I'm not sure where they put it to clean this area up. And there's just about 100,000 things in here that I wish weren't in here. This car is so incredibly hard to work on because they packed 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bucket. This car is the definition of that. So anyway, here we are on the project, and that's where I'm at. So I'm just tearing everything down. I've got the intake manifold off, as you can see, and honestly it's quite close to plucking the thing out of here now. And I've just been working on it like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, because frankly I hate working on this car, and it is such a miserable experience that I can only stand about 30 minutes to an hour before I'm just like I hate this thing and I want to walk away, and so I do, and then I come back another day or two later and I do another 30 minutes. So it's taken a while, but I've got to get it done. So like I said, this is an automatic car. It's my wife's car. The truth is, she doesn't really care about this car or care for this car. She likes it, but she doesn't love it. We've got it up for sale because she's like, just sell it. I'd be happy with something else anyway. And I was like, okay, well, it's worth a lot. Let's just sell it. We'll get you something that you're also more happy with maybe and costs way less and is easier to work on. Now I'm thinking, you guys let me know what you think about this option. What if I take over this car as my own car, buy her something else, yes, maybe a WRX automatic, she likes those. She just wants something kind of sporty and fun. Doesn't have to be anything valuable or rare. So anyway, my thought was, why don't I do the guy thing? I'll take over her car. I'll get rid of the automatic transmission. I'll put a manual in it. It'll be my Z. And I'll have a Z again. I had one, sold it last year. I'll have another one. And this will be my car. And I'll just do all the deletes and all the things, and I'll modify it and make it cool, and it'll be my deal. And then she'll have something else to drive. And then I thought, you know what? I hate this engine so much. Why don't I get rid of the transmission and the engine? Just get rid of them both. Throw them in the trash can. I don't ever want to see them again. And then, of course, this becomes a motor swap car, and then you got to decide what engine you're going to put in it. Obviously, LS comes to mind, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do an LS in this car. I've got an LS in the 240. I don't even like the LS that much. I'll tell you, it's great to work on. Cheap, and they make good power and torque, but I don't want another one. So what are your thoughts on this? Should I turn this into an epic project, maybe for the channel? Maybe it would definitely be a manual trans, and it would definitely be a different engine. At this point, I'm thinking. Could even be a 4-cylinder. Could be a straight 6, but I'm not putting any big money 2J in this thing. I don't have the budget right now. So it would end up being like maybe a K series, K24, or something else, but not an LS and not a Ford V8. Nothing big and huge. I want this thing to be easy to work on. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Should I even do this at all, or should I just finish this up, get it all back to factory spec, and keep it for sale? I've got 2 people right now, as of yesterday, interested in the car. So maybe I could just sell it, move on, and be done with 300ZXs forever, or for now. Or should I turn this into a big old project and make it a channel car and make it something really, really cool like I did with the MR2, only it didn't make it to the channel. This was before I did YouTube. That was a super epic project. Motor swap, shaved the engine bay, tucked wiring harness, tucked fuse boxes. I got rid of the entire factory fuel tank and fuel pump system, fuel filler neck, and I turned this thing into a super, super shaved engine bay. It's awesome to work on. It is so good to work on now. So I'm thinking, what if I could feel that way about this car? What if I could go from, oh, hey buddy, if I could feel like this car is terrible to work on and I hate it, to it's as good to work on as this car and I love it. Obviously that's a big decision, costs a lot of money and take a lot of time to do it. But would it be cool? Is it the right thing to do? I'm looking for opinions and thoughts, because if I do it, it'll become a channel car for the YouTube channel. And anyway, so you guys' opinion matters on that. I want your feedback. So anyway, just a little intro to what I'm doing here on the car, and kind of a survey and a poll of your thoughts and opinions on the direction of this car. Let me flip you around a little bit and show you the interior. This car is so nice, guys. It is basically immaculate on the inside. The leather's in really, really good shape. The interior is complete. There's not a single panel missing. It's all in super good condition. We put those floor mats in it. Everything is just so nice. I put a thump and sound system in this for her. There's a subwoofer back there underneath that. The paint is in really good shape. It's a metallic black. Excuse me. The wheels look good. The stance is good. It's just a super nice 300Z factory twin turbo car, as you can see right there. No body damage, no rust. Being an automatic, they're not worth nearly as much as the 5-speeds. I think this guy wants out. There you go, buddy. Being automatic, they're just definitely not worth as much as the 5-speeds, and they're harder to sell. Obviously, you can imagine why. But we got it for a lot cheaper than we would have had to have paid for a 5-speed. So we're into this car for a nice price, considering its condition, especially. So in that sense, it makes a good base point to do one of two things. Either one, keep it factory and try to sell it for maximum value by keeping it stock, and I could even put the stock wheels back on it. Or you're in it cheap enough that you could probably quote unquote afford to go a little wild with it and put a few grand into a motor swap and turn it into a project car. In which case it would never ever again be a factory spec. It would never sell as a factory spec preserved, specimen, quote unquote. You go off the reservation when you do all the motor swap stuff and you lose that kind of buyer. But you also have a lot of fun with the car. And you don't have much fun with the car when you keep it all factory, except driving fun. You do get to just go out and turn the key and it works all the time, at least in theory. So that's what I did with my RX-7. I kept it factory stock for 8 years, 94 RX-7 FD, and just sold it 2 weeks ago for big money. And I enjoyed owning it, but I didn't get to modify it and didn't get to do any performance stuff to it at all, because I knew that if I kept it stock, it would be worth maximum dollars one day when I wanted to sell it, which it did. I bought it for $18,000 and I sold it for $35,000. So for me, that's big money on a car flip. I had it 8 years, so it wasn't a fast flip, but it was never intended to be a fast flip. I bought it knowing that eventually it would go valuable, and whenever that day come, if it felt right, I would sell it. So I got to enjoy it by driving it. It worked every single day. It started easy. It didn't have any project car problems. It just simply worked, which is awesome, but also didn't get to have the fun of modifying it and swapping it and doing this, that, and the other and boosting it up and all the fun stuff. So I don't know. It's a trade-off. Leave them stock, sell them for more money, or modify them, put more money in them, sell them for less money, or maybe you can't even sell it at all because of the modifications you did. But you get a story out of it. You get a journey, you get a project, you get fun, you get performance. For me, I get videos, I suppose. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm going to cut this one off here. I just wanted to kind of, guys, get back in the flow of making videos for you guys and get back in the flow of, just documenting what I'm doing. I'm going to get back to work on this daggum thing, and we're going to try to get this engine out of here. I'd like to have this thing on the floor by tomorrow. That would be kind of a stretch goal for me, but I think it's possible. There's not much left there. Alternator, power steering pump, little wiring harness in the alternator, air conditioner, lines, I guess. And then it's time to just hoist it up and see what hangs and go from there. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the project. What should I do? Are you 300ZX guys? What are you, purists? Are you modify it? Are you drive the wheels off of it? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.